Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Galatia Strong. I'm a physical therapist who got 100% on my boards exam, and this led me to found SPT with Me, which is an NPTE prep platform. If you enjoy what you see and you're studying for the NPTE, check out our courses at sptwithme.com. Now for what you're actually here for, let's talk about how to treat shoulder bursitis. It would probably help to know what bursitis actually is. So if you need an overview, check out my What is Bursitis video. But if you don't need it, let's get straight to it. With bursitis, the bursa is the source of pain. The bursa itself is not a structure that you can consciously tell to contract or do something. It's not something like a muscle. So there's nothing that I can do directly to the bursa itself. So the idea with exercise and the treatment and rehab for those who have bursitis is to treat the surrounding area. And what I mean by surrounding area is the surrounding muscles. I want to strengthen those muscles so that it can help with shock absorption. It can help with reducing the amount of force that the bursa would take otherwise alone. I want some of that shock and those forces to be distributed towards my muscles as well so that they both take it. It can just offload what the bursa takes. I also want to make sure that I'm stretching certain tight muscles that are creating compressive forces on that already irritated bursa. I also want to make sure that the way that I'm moving isn't creating too much friction or irritation to that bursa so I can work on movement patterns. For example, if I raise my arm up and down with my thumb down, this is going to hurt because my shoulder is placed in an internally compressed, compact position. But if I raise my shoulder with my thumbs up, this opens my shoulder up and irritates the bursa much less because of that space that's provided in that neutral position. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 exercises: a stretching one, a strengthening one, and a coordination one. After any injury to the shoulder, we tend to like putting our shoulder in an open pack position, or a position which allows our shoulder to be lifted and supported and internally rotated. It's really great for pain management, but it's not great for our flexibility if it's in that position for too long. When we're in this position, it makes our shoulders rounded forward. And what's bad about that is that it makes this region that the bursa is in super tight and super small, thus creating compressive forces on an already irritated bursa. We want enough room in the shoulder to provide enough space for that bursa to heal as much as it can. So here's the stretch. The pec stretch. This stretch helps to stretch the front muscles of the shoulder that have become tight, thus providing compressive forces on an already irritated shoulder. So what I want you to do is go to a wall. And what you'll do is place your elbow on that wall at a 90-degree angle to your shoulder height. Keep your forearm flush against the wall until you feel a stretch at your chest. If you do not feel the stretch just yet, you'll feel it if you step forward through the door. And you make sure that you keep your body from rotating toward that arm. The other thing you can do instead of stepping through the door is just holding the same exact position, but rotating yourself to the opposite direction to feel the stretch. What you want to do is keep this position for up to a minute. Obviously, holding a position for about a minute straight is extremely uncomfortable. So with that being said, you can break it down into 2 sets of 30 seconds, 4 sets of 15 seconds. Just make sure you don't hold it longer than a minute because you don't want to irritate the muscles too much. If you want, you could do this once a day. You could do this twice a day, just depending on how tight you are. What we also want to do is make sure that our surrounding muscles are strong so that when we do move our arm and do move our shoulder, that the muscles help to take the load that the bursa would otherwise take itself. The stronger our muscles are, the more forces they can help to dampen. So ultimately, what we want to do is build the muscles up to where it can help distribute the forces that our shoulder will face. So it's not only the bursa taking it, it's the bursa as well as our muscles. There are a ton of shoulder muscles, but one of the most important ones that help to facilitate optimal movement of the shoulder in its upward rotation to allow the most space for the shoulder when we raise it is the serratus anterior muscle. So let me show you. In this image, we are looking at a posterior or back view of someone's right shoulder. So it's like someone's facing away from you right now. In this picture, the shoulder is in a neutral position, so your arm is just dangling down by your side. If you were to raise your right arm up toward the ceiling without the serratus anterior working, this is how we would look. You can see that the shoulder blade or the scapula stays in place and there's an impingement of the shoulder, thus pushing on the bursa. This is lifting up the arm using the serratus anterior, which as you can see helps to upwardly rotate that scapula or shoulder blade so that there's less pinching of the shoulder, thus less irritation to that bursa. This is an exercise to help you learn how to use that muscle. So what I want you to do is lie on your back. You're going to start off without any weight. I know this picture shows weight. But what you do is raise both of your arms toward the ceiling. You're going to keep your entire body on the table, but just push your hands up toward the ceiling. You should feel the muscles right under your armpit working. This is your serratus anterior muscles. Make sure you push your arms up slowly. Think about going up and down, holding it for 5 seconds, and feel the difference in the strength and the stability of your affected arm versus your unaffected arm. You're strengthening, so you really want to feel it working as if you were to lift weights. Ultimately, the best strength training regime is to try about 3 sets of 8 repetitions, in which those 8 are extremely challenging. If you can safely add a weight, whether it's dumbbells or just holding a water bottle. The idea is that I want you to learn that these muscles exist. You're going to help them get stronger through doing 3 sets of 8 challenging serratus anterior punches towards the wall, and then you learn to actually use these muscles when you're lifting your arm. And that leads to this third exercise. There is no point of exercising and strengthening a muscle if you are not going to use it during your task. So we want to strengthen the serratus anterior muscle, yes, but we also want to intentionally use it too. So the coordination exercise is literally practicing to raise your arm in front of you and purposely forcing your serratus anterior muscle to be used as you raise your arm. So just go slow. Feel that muscle working. Try 10 times in a row. If that's too much, try 5 times in a row. But in addition to spending just a few repetitions doing this, you actually have to force yourself to use this muscle as you do your everyday activities. So if you're reaching for a coffee mug, use the muscle. If you're putting on a t-shirt, use the muscle. Decrease the load that goes to the bursa by the way that you move. Not just doing it through 10 repetitions of raising your arm, but throughout the day. We want to make this a daily task. This is a habit that you need to build. Hopefully this clears up some questions you might have had about how to treat shoulder bursitis, whether you're a student or a person who's going through it. If you're studying for the NPTE and you enjoy the way that this was taught, check out our NPTE courses at sptwithme.com. If you have been diagnosed with any disease, any condition, injury, etc., the best thing that you could possibly do is to go to see a physical therapist to help you implement an individualized HEP or home exercise program. That way you can really make sure that you're on the right and most appropriate exercise regime that allows you to be safe and lower your risk of falling or further injuries, okay? But you probably watched this video because you either just don't want to do that or you cannot do that. I understand. But understand, with watching this video, I have not seen you. I don't know how you're presenting. I don't know what your limitations are. So with that being said, some of these exercises might not be the most appropriate for you. Just use your best judgment if you decide to give these exercises a try. So you might be thinking then, well, how does she choose these exercises? Understand, humans tend to fall into similar movement patterns when it comes to how we present after an injury or with certain diseases and conditions. So that's how I chose these exercises, as it's pretty much based on trends that we usually see in specific situations. Check out these references for more information.